A very good morning from Abergavenny, the so-called gateway to Wales, or in my case today, the gateways to the Brecon Beacon National Park. I am going to be driving from right here in Abergavenny in a northwesterly direction up to the small town of Brecon. And I've got a feeling there's going to be lots to see and do along the way, including historic canals, hiking in the mountains, and plenty of incredible roads. I am currently at a place called Castle Meadows, and I found this little picturesque spot down by the river. I'm going to start off today by heading into town, taking a quick tour, and then we'll see where the day takes us. Abergavenny has a population of about 12,000 people. I'm currently walking down the high street, and one thing I've noticed is that there are a lot of outdoor clothing and shops selling hiking equipment, and that's because of the location of the town being surrounded by mountains, hills and rivers. The perfect place for an outdoor enthusiast. So we've got plenty of signs telling us what's about, and also a map. So you can see down here is where we started the video this morning. I'm currently up here. I'm going to take a stroll this way over towards the church and the castle and take a look at some more of these buildings. Behind me is the Abergavenny Market Hall, which was built and opened in the 1870s. It includes a covered market hall, council chambers, a theatre and even a clock tower at the front of the building. The clock on the clock tower, by the way, was gifted by a local named Crawshay Bailey. It had a value of £500 at the time, but unfortunately he passed away in 1872 before the building was completed. The building is supported by 6 iron girders, and depending on which day of the week you visit, you're going to get a different type of market, including antique fairs, craft fairs, farmers markets, flea markets. There is always something going on. And one bit of trivia: in the theatre at the front of the building in 1963, lots of bands performed there over the years. A band in 1963 that performed there was the Beatles. So not only have they been here, they've performed inside. Just over the road now is St Mary's Church. It is actually St Mary's Priory, and it is nicknamed the Westminster Abbey of Wales. And that's mainly due to its large size, the effigies and paintings and historic tombs that can be found inside the priory itself. It was built during the Norman period in the 11th century, but in the 19th century, an extensive Victorian refurbishment took place, transforming the priory into what we see here today. Found the museum and castle. Looks like it's open. Let's go take a look. I'm now at the site of Abergavenny Castle, which dates back to the 11th century and is a classic Motte and Bailey type fortification. So what we have is a motte, or a mound, and that was created by labourers digging a trench and then piling up all of the earth they got from the trench into the centre to create a large mound. And on top of that originally would have been a wooden keep, which essentially is the most secure part of the castle. And then down here where I am right now, this would have been the bailey, so the fortification around the lower area, and this perhaps would have been where people lived, people worked, or soldiers perhaps would have been positioned to protect the keep. Unfortunately, the keep was destroyed in the Civil War back in the 17th century, and a hunting lodge was rebuilt on that location in the 19th century, and that's the building that we see up there today. Inside is a free museum, so if you're in town, make sure you leave enough time to go and visit that. There's lots of info boards dotted around the remaining walls and ruins, telling you all about the castle's past and glory, and you can pretty much go wherever you like as long as you are not climbing on the ruins themselves. Okay, I think I'm going to head back to the car now. We have got a road trip ahead of us. Time to begin the journey. As you will have seen, I have driven up a single track road for about 10 minutes and I've arrived at the car park of something called the Sugar Loaf, which if I turn around here you can see there is a sign. I am currently here where that red circle is and I'm planning to travel along this hiking path up to 596 meters in altitude and a viewpoint called Sugar Loaf. I have no idea how long it's going to take me to get there, but let's see if we can find it. There are spaces for about 20 cars in the car park. It is free, and if the views from the car park are anything to go by, this is going to be one heck of a hike. We are getting a fairly clear view of it now on my right hand side, that we are going to have to go down into the dip before we go back up again towards the summit, and we are starting to see why it's called Sugar Loaf, and that is because it looks like one, plain and simple really. We're at an intersection. I've seen a few of these so far. If I turn the camera around you can see there is a path going that way, path going that way. That's where I've come from, another path that way and another path that way. So I think I'm just going to head towards the Loaf, and if we want to go up there we're going to go that way I think. The area was previously privately owned by the suffragette Lady Rhondda, but she gave it to the National Trust to look after, and they're the ones that open it up and maintain the trails and allow people like myself to come and hike it. Every time I climb a mountain, I'm reminded by just how unfit I am. But you know what? I take my time and I enjoy it. What an incredible scene. I saw these from a while back and I wondered what they were, and I think I know the answer now. I think they've been airlifted here by a helicopter and they contain pathing slabs, if you look in there. And so next time I come, chances are this section here will be properly paved. Getting steeper. Made it. It's the trig point over there. Okay, here we go. There we have it, Sugar Loaf. On my way down, and I was just thinking to myself, everybody loves the bright blue skies and the sunlight. I do as well, but sometimes there's really something magical about the stormy, moody, angry looking skies and landscapes, the shadows, the tones, the contrast, the moments of saturation when the sun streams through the clouds just for a couple of minutes. Hello there. There's a sheep in there somewhere. But yeah, I really like this kind of atmosphere and ambience. And we made it back to the car park.
So many days is yet to come. many times has come to pass. Too many moments put aside. Getting out alive, getting out alive. Writing letters in the sand. Lost to ocean's gentle hand. Through the sunrise I will thrive. Getting out alive, getting out alive. When you find that open door, you gotta let them love you more. Tender hearts will always fight the darkness of the light.
Welcome to Talybont-on-Usk, a small village here in the Brecon Beacons of about 600 people, and I'm currently walking alongside the Monmouthshire and Brecon Canal system, a 33-mile canal system running from Pontypool in the south to Brecon in the north. And these days it is not unusual to see canal boats, runners, walkers, hikers, even cyclists using either the water or the impeccably kept canal path next to it. It was restored and looked after by the Canal and River Trust of Wales. They actually look after 2,000 miles of canal just in Wales, would you believe? They also have a hand in looking after this drawbridge behind me, a very unique system that essentially carries the road across the canal. Now, it hasn't always been like this. Originally, it was a wooden bridge and mechanism, and it relied on people to push and pull for leverage to open and close the drawbridge as traffic wanted to cross or as boats wanted to come through. In the 1930s, it was replaced with a fixed bridge because the canal system closed down. But then in the 1970s, when it was restored, the fixed bridge was replaced by this automated bridge that is electronically controlled. It's still a drawbridge, it still opens and closes the road to traffic, but all you need to do these days is press a button to lift it up and down. So it looks like the canal boat captain has to let the bridge down himself. There it goes, it looks like it's working on a pivot. It's now lowering the road bridge across the canal, and the lights will soon turn green and cars will be crossing once again. Pretty amazing piece of technology. And across comes the traffic. And pedestrians. My one day in the Brecon Beacons is nearly over. I've arrived in Brecon, it's quite late. Darkness has started to fall, but I'm glad I'm here. I'm going to take a walk round in just a couple of moments and just see some of the highlights. Whilst driving into town, I was able to stop at the Monmouthshire and Brecon Canal Basin the very start or the very end of the canal network. But hopefully you've enjoyed my day in the Brecon Beacons National Park. It's been a national park for good reason since 1957, and hopefully today I've been able to show you just a small piece of how magnificent the park area actually is. So thanks for watching. Get ready to take a quick walk around Brecon now with me, and then I will see you hopefully in the next video.
The darkness of the light, the darkness of the light.